to show your viewers?
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to show that what I am doing or what Nisse is doing also a great monk. Anyone can do. It's just about time. There was one that was asking me, could I do this? And I was saying yes, and then he said I can't afford it. And then I told him, imagine you have a credit card with unlimited gold on, or imagine you have unlimited time to farm the gold. Either way, right? Or unlimited money on the credit card. Then you could of course do it. There's not much tier crafting behind Diablo, since there's not that much changing anyway, and you don't have that many options. You have six different skills to choose from to have down on your action bar at the time. So not much difference you can do anyway. So definitely, and like yeah, I don't think there's much more builds you can come up with as a monk right now. You can come up with builds that is viable right now. I don't think you can, like, this is max movement speed. So movement speed wise you can beat it. And Dashing Strike you have seen people are doing on higher levels to make it more efficient than Tempest Rush. But apart from that, I don't think there is much more to tier craft before Blizzard come with something.
And we were talking about farming wise. I was thinking farming wise, yeah, this is a very good build, very efficient. There is even no need to, because you're going so fast, and the increase that you'll get from any other skills probably be around like a 5% increase or,
yeah, exactly.
Or less. Right. So, but what I was thinking was, what about for PvP? Have you decided what kind of build? Like, are you gonna do crowd control? Are you gonna?
Blizzard, like, first of all, we have no idea about scaling in PvP yet. Like right now, it was calculating. That's quite a long time ago. But my current DPS at that point was calculating with the best 7-sided strike rune and max buffed my DPS. You could take a barbarian with like 1500 resistance, 50k HP, and around 15k armor, and he would die. The best 7-sided strike on top of it, right? So
what if?
So we know they need to change the scale somehow. So
right.
So I have no clue what kind of abilities I'll be using at that point. Yeah, that can change a lot. You also stated you're gonna make major changes in some of the classes.
Especially,
yeah,
I would
one
say,
of those classes, right?
Yeah, that is it's probably like one of the other things stuff probably gonna change around and stuff. So yeah, of course it's in the mind what kind of gonna use, and I also think it depends on if you're gonna be 2-man teams or only 4-man teams, and what options in team setups you can do. That's gonna be another thing that's gonna matter, right? If they're gonna be a 2v2, like they say in World of Warcraft, then maybe gonna make some class setups where you're gonna focus on burst DPS and nothing else. In 4v4 it's gonna be way more, as you say, with crowd control.
Yeah,
nice.
It was really interesting to watch. So Nisse, basically, you already touched it a little bit. You were saying you were kind of bored of the game, and you started streaming, and the streaming brought you kind of back the interest in spending the time on the game. So, like, how long have you been streaming?
I think 7 weeks now.
7 weeks.
Yeah.
So, as I was saying before, I discovered you or your stream about 2-3 weeks ago.
Probably when I peaked, yeah.
Yeah, and I was telling people, like, this definitely a rising guy. You're gonna see him amongst the top streamers. So you've been only been streaming for around 7 weeks, and a lot of the time on prime time in US, you have about 200 viewers. And as I have experienced, your viewers are very, very loyal. You don't have the thousands of viewers like many of these long-time streamers, but your viewers are very loyal. It's the same people every day. Is that how you experience it as well?
Yeah, I can see. I have people here. It was earlier the count. There was at least 3 or 4 people that have been here since day one. There was online today too. Since the very first day, you also remembering when there was only 16 viewers on the stream. So I definitely have very loyal people. But I can also see, like, in average, I'm getting like 50 and 60 new followers every day. So there's also coming a lot new. Last week have been pretty dead for me with new job and stuff. But also the content is done, right? I'm doing the 100 Paragon 100 Saturday, and the days up to it's been going down in the viewer counts. And I was talking with Conker, he can feel it too. He say it's, but also it's because there's nothing new to show. Like Diablo 3 is losing players and also losing viewers. So you're going out, I can see coming new guys like Avoid and have gotten more viewers, and in this have he was behind me, he's topping me on viewers too, like twice. So see, now they want to see something new, so you're gonna find some new. So yeah, I think that's what you're gonna experience too a lot. That the viewer numbers on the different streams gonna jump a lot.
That hopefully will be fixed by new patches released, and
Exactly.
I'm really looking forward to PvP bringing back the life to this game. But I want to focus on you, Nisse. So you did this thing, you started streaming about 7 weeks ago, and a lot of people are, I mean, you obviously must notice there's a lot of people streaming. What would you say has been your recipe for success? Getting so many people interested in your stream?
I think I had a big,
and having this steady follower base.
I think the first big start I had was like I was known as the Tempest vs. Monk in the start. That was like my first, I think my first 30 or 40 regular views came from there. And I think that is the key. You need to find something you want to be known as to start up from. If you're just saying a random guy, I want to stream, and you need to find the reason to why he should look on you and not look on the other guy. If you're doing the same as 5 others, you're gonna stay on the guys that you look on the last 3 weeks. You have no reason to swap to a new guy. I think that's the key. You find something special and no one else do. But that's hard these days, since there's nothing new to be special about.
Yeah, I understand you. Obviously, it's really hard to find new things, and as you said, like there's many other big streamers that I like to refer to. Like, for instance, Kruparian, who's one of the biggest. He's known for the things he's done. You know,
yeah,
London first or outside.
Yeah, from World of Warcraft, right? He's been streaming for several years, same as Kung and that kind of stuff. That's their big help. Yet, their issues. You can see Pro Hacker, he's like, I don't know, around 300 viewers on a normal day. He's been streaming for like 3-4 times longer than me. They just don't go as fast. It's definitely not in Diablo 3. There ain't that many
That's why I'm curious about Nisse, how you managed to, like, I was talking to Congo off stream a little bit, and he told me like it took like for him, you know, 3 months to get like 300 steady people. You got about 200 in 7 weeks, as you said. It's quite fast, and in a much more competitive streaming environment. So
actually,
obviously you had.
Sorry to interrupt.
Go on.
3 weeks
No,
ago,
go on.
3 weeks ago, we had 50 viewers. Then 2 weeks ago, we was having around 150 and 200 every single day. And then it's going down again now. It was peaking there 2 weeks ago. I think what happened there was no one on Europe that was doing those, is what you call it, Chilean call it golden showers, right? We was just sitting a Friday evening, and we was getting bored, me and some of my friends. And we were saying what the fuck to do, and no one wanted to farm. It was like, all the yellows are crap, and we was talking loud about it. And some of the viewers said, I want the yellows, and someone said, I would do anything to get 100 yellows for free. I was like, oh well, let's see how many yellows we can collect in 2 hours. And that was what we did. And we was counting, I was counting how many filled up bags we could drag to town. And we entered around 2,100 items. And before we had looked around, there was sitting 500 people on my stream. And we have never been that high. I think it was 474 or something. And it was like, what the fuck is going on? And then we of course did abuse it a bit for a few days, and now there've been like, of those 500 there was for a week there's maybe 50 or 60 that have stick because you like me. I think that's the kind you need to do. Find something new, show it off for a week, and some gonna stick. But you need to improve your stream with new stuff often to make it successful.
So I wanted to ask you a question about Diablo. Like, what's your favorite class and why?
I don't have a favorite class. I have a favorite class of the week when people ask me. Like, I think I started off to being favorite was Wizard, and then it was Demon Hunter, and then become all this with Paragon. And that was the tier crafting, what would be fastest to speed leveling, and what can I stick on, and then I ended on Monk, which you can basically go AFK on and pretend on a Monk. So it was more like that was the easiest class to stick on. But I think like in the end I probably favorize Demon Hunter in many ways. People ask me, I made a Demon Hunter hardcore too. So yeah.
So, what about Demon Hunters do you like?
I think it's because you have way more viable builds. Like, no matter what you do on a Demon Hunter, it's gonna be viable, and you can hardly notice the difference if you stay on MP1. It's first on, as you go MP5 and higher, you start to feel that what you are doing on your build is screwing you over. Like, Monk right now, you have no options. You need to have Tempest Thrust to farm on an efficient level, or Desert Strike, one of those two. If you choose my route and go Tempest Thrust, then you have locked 3 or 4 other skill slots, since you need to have the supplies Spirit Regen to keep Tempest Thrusting. You don't have those things on a Demon Hunter. If you take one skill, you don't need to have 3 others to make it work or to make it efficient. You can just look on a wizard in the same way, right? You are locked with 4 skills if you want to make a stun wizard. You have 5 skills. As soon as you get that idea, that's what I hate with those 2 classes right now.
Then wouldn't you say Barbarian is the most limited, because with Barbarian you're forced to having 4 skills actually.
Yeah,
and you only have 2 extra slots to do something else with.
Exactly.
I'm talking about a double tornado barb.
Yeah, that's the class I hate the most. Also the class I played the least. For that reason. Like,
that is really interesting.
I feel like there's a very it's for barbarians in general. I don't know about monks, but what I've seen with barbarians is that a lot of people copy other people's builds and are not innovative with their builds. And was wondering, would you consider yourself a top-level monk theory crafter? Because I think you are.
Yeah, I guess right now I've been tier crafting way more Demon the last week. I have some secret builds that haven't shown up that much lately. But in the end, you're all copying each other, right? Like if some guy is using a Tempest Thrust to move with or to kill with, you can say he copied the guy that did it first. We don't know if it was me or it was other. It was like 5 guys that we started with on the same week. I mean, it's hard to do something without it look like a copy.
Yeah.
So last night with my Demon Hunter, maybe I want to know your thoughts on this. Had a Demon Hunter with a problem. Ball Lightning was taking too much hatred. I wanted to use Ball Lightning and Cluster Bombs together. However, there was too much of a hatred use. Even with Vengeance, still there are times where I would run out of hatred. So I was thinking, why do I use Ball Lightning? Penetration, good damage, will shoot hits all the mobs in a huge AoE. So I was thinking, how can I make Ball Lightning to have a less hatred cost? So well, sure, you could regenerate more through using Vengeance, but that's kind of forcing it. That's if it's not sustained DPS. So something I thought about was, what about a different skill? Something that doesn't cost anything. All those primary skills, those yellow skills, none of them have the penetration that Ball Lightning does. Everything hits like one mob and then stops there. But there is one skill that costs nothing, that if you spec out for it, and I want to know your thoughts about it. Can you tell me what? So what I found out is Chakram. Twin Chakram, if you have an SOJ plus a chest piece, costs nothing. What are your thoughts on that? Using that along with cluster bombs, so that you have as much hatred as you can possibly use for cluster bombs to do work.
I don't like Chakrams. I've not tested Chakram that much. I feel it's annoying to hit with, and I also feel it do too little damage. About a ball of lightning and cluster bombs, I was doing a lot of testing. I don't know if it was last week, I was trying to figure how high MP I could do ball of lightning / cluster bombs unlimited. What I was basically doing was I was tanking in gloom with cluster bombs loaded on the elite packs in Nisse, and abusing pickup radius to get the health globes instant, to get hatred